So, putting it another way, let's say we go back to the days of the caveman. The caveman sitting in a cave, here's a cave, and this is a man sitting in a cave, or a woman. You see that drawing? A man sitting in a cave. In order to climb a hill, if you step on a severe incline, you'll slip. If you step on a flat, slightly flat, you'll get up. So when you climb a hill, you look for slight flats. Is anybody clear? After this guy lives there 10 years, it gets to look like that. He doesn't say, I gotta make steps to get up to the cave. Can't. It occurs as he walks up the hill. Time and time again, he steps on the flat areas and it changes. Then when he moves from this cave, he brings that knowledge with him, called associative memory. So if you're walking down the street at night and 3 black men are coming and they beat you up, the next time she sees 3 black, she crosses the street. That's associative memory. Or if they're Filipinos, or Greeks, or Italians, right? So you've got all these different kinds of people that look different. When I was a kid, there weren't too many Chinese around, except in the laundry. So we used to run down and look at them, you know. And the black guy was rare in my neighborhood, because they lived in quarters. And we used to run down the street and look at them, because they looked so different. And we didn't know anything about them. People said, well, they don't want to play with those black kids, or the green kids, or whatever you had. So you had the parents fucking up the kids real bad. You're a Lutheran, you don't play with that little Catholic girl. So parents do a lot of damage, not because they're bad. Nobody is good or bad. Everybody is perfectly well adjusted where they're coming from. Brother, if you don't get there and take it first, be nothing left for you. Kids are brought up with different, and psychologists think they're self-centered. They invent words, psychopathic. They invent all kinds of phony words, not considering the environment. The environment makes bigots, prejudice, Turks. The difference between a Turk, the difference between a creative, productive person and a lazy person is environment. So you work on the environment, get rid of the environment that makes that. Have you ever heard of Jeffrey Dahmer? How many people have? How many people have heard of Albert Fish? That goes way back. They believe he ate 45 children. The public wanted to tear him to pieces. There's a psychiatrist named Wortham, rare individual, said, don't kill him. I want to try to find out what made him that way. Well, he wasn't very good at that. He didn't find out everything. But this is what he did find out. When the kid was about 8 years old, he was touching his private parts. His mother was an old-time Baptist. Came in, he had no attitude about it. My mother looked at him and said, you're going to burn in hell touching that part of your body. That's evil, sexual, satanic. And kept on the kid, you burn eternally touching that part of your body. You want to go to hell and burn there? Well, the kid was shaking like mad. Mother said at 2 in the morning he was screaming. So she went into his bedroom, he stuck needles in his genitals, didn't want to go to hell. But he used to take minority kids into the woods and try to cut their genitals off. He was brought up in a distorted environment. And there's nothing wrong with him mentally. They think he belongs to psychiatric ward. No, there's a lot of people that are fucked up by the values of their culture. Only when the brain disorder is physical, high temperature, I'm talking about last stages of syphilis, you know, there are many brain disorders, physical damage, that's different. But the difference, it's hard to tell the difference when you talk to a member of the clan between brain disorders and value system distortion. Do you know what I mean?
How do you explain the difference between a child who takes that from his mother and sticks needles in his genitals that night, and another child who takes that from his mother and is like, I'm just going to chill like this and do everything she says from now on?
I got the same thing from 2 priests who used to come to my seminars, and they said, I know 2 people from the identical environment. One turned out a priest, another a gangster. If environment's everything, how do you get those differences? The minute you pick up the younger kid and start playing with it, And the 7-year-olds say that with that lip out while you're playing with this kid. You're making jealousy and envy. Then I notice when the little kid falls down the steps, the old kid has white ribs. Is he bad? No. You made him that way by not knowing enough about children. You take the young kid, put him on him, take the older kid, put him on him, this is your baby brother. You never play with one kid or say, why can't you be like your brother? Or why can't you be like your sister? You know, that's where the parents fuck up the kids. They'd have to go to school to learn how to raise children in the future. I want to tell you a little bit about children. I wanted to communicate with my boy when he was about 3 months old. Well, that's before communication. But I want to communicate with any system whatsoever that produces desired behavior. It's not language first. Communication. Communication is any system. A person can say to you, it was nice having you come again. They don't want to see you. You're reading something else. It's any method. If you slap a kid and he stops doing something, he communicates with his fist. Another guy, he speaks to you, if you don't understand, he gets louder. If you still don't get it, he makes a fist. Watch it. I said America is the greatest country on earth. You disagree with it, he'll punch you. That's a reaction to those words. He's not. No one acts automatically. No one has free will. All that's another bullshit word. That we can make choices. We can't. Depends on where we're brought up. If you ask an Eskimo, you can have anything in the world, what do you want? He doesn't say a stainless steel refrigerator. He doesn't have it in his vocabulary. Yeah. An Eskimo never dreams of walking on a palm-fringed beach unless he's seen a movie, you understand, or books or pictures. So we can't escape our culture. No one is open-minded. You can't be open-minded. You can be more flexible than others, but you can't be open-minded because you have a language and a way of thinking superimposed upon you by your culture. So when I was a kid, I probably made more mistakes than anyone I know because I tried more things. So no one, I want to say this clearly if I can, no one ever makes a mistake in their life. They do what they do with what they know. The first guy that fooled with nitric acid and glycerin, he disappeared in the building. His brother-in-law wrote, never play with it. There was a guy in France that built a set of wings that extended 3 feet on each side, and he knew he could fly with those. So he jumped off the Eiffel Tower, and he died. And his brother-in-law wrote, make wings larger next time.